Hello, friends, and happy Friday. I'm Matt Ufford. This is the Halfy Hour.
Hey!
Joining me is Jimmy Conrad.
Sorry, I was tweeting.
Yeah, it's all right. No,
I'm popular.
I would actually rather you just tweet this entire show. I will just talk for 30 minutes straight, and it's just you. Jimmy, if you don't recognize him, is a YouTube star on KICKTV, MLS's Major League Soccer's main
I
channel.
prefer internet sensation.
Internet sensation.
Yes.
Also played a little bit of the football back in the day.
I did. The beautiful game, as it were.
Yeah. You played for the men's national team?
I did.
From when to when? Let's go ahead and back it up. For people who are not familiar with internet sensation Jimmy Conrad,
Let's get started. Let's roll this back.
give me just the elevator pitch for your career.
So like the Cliff Notes version of my
Yeah,
career?
exactly.
Okay, so I'm a late bloomer. Didn't get my first cap with the national team until the 2005 Gold Cup. I was 28 when that happened.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was against Cuba. So I didn't defect, but actually 9 players from the team I did play against didn't go back with the team on the team bus.
They liked you that much.
They took off, yeah. So probably more important for them that game than me, all things considered.
Yeah.
But from there, I parlayed a good tournament. We won the Gold Cup in 2005 to earning a spot on the 2006 World Cup team, which was a big thrill for me because I was a little engine that could. I had a lot of people tell me I wasn't very good or would never amount to anything. So that was a big middle finger to a lot of people along the way. And that was gratifying. And then I got to play in the World Cup, which took it to another level. And that was probably the highlight of my career. And then, I parlayed that into just having a longer contract with MLS and becoming more of a mainstay with Major League Soccer. So all things considered, played in the league for 13 years. And now I've transitioned into phase 2 of my life, which is making YouTube videos to lose all credibility of everything I did in phase 1.
You also did some TV, though. I've seen you on Fox before.
I was on Fox Soccer. Called some games, did some stuff in the studio. When you're really raw at that stuff, it's not that great. It's a bit of a train wreck. But I feel like I've gotten a little bit better, and I'm getting some more of those opportunities, as I've got more comfortable in front of the camera.
That's cool. You were the game that you played in 2006 was the infamous Italy game with
That's
Jorge,
right.
Jorge Larionda.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. Was that the referee?
Yeah, that's the referee.
Okay, yeah, I should know that.
I was surprised that I've memorized his name and face so that I can one day exact revenge.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it was a good game. It was a historic game, a lot of people still talk to me about. So we tied 1-1. I got to play in the Ghana game.
Yeah, what's crazy about that is I remember it as a loss because I was so angry about it, and then it wasn't until recently that I was like, oh, we actually tied, but we were up that game, right? We were winning.
Actually, we were down. Guillermo
okay.
scored first, and then they had an own goal, and then tied 1-1.
right.
But then we went up a man. So then you feel like you should win the game at that point.
Yeah.
And then Pablo Mastroianni got a red card right before half, and then Eddie Pope got a red card right after half.
Both of them were BS.
Yeah, we could argue. Pablo should have made a better decision. He knows better than that. I mean, there's just right before halftime, so even he would admit that it wasn't the best decision he's ever made in his life.
So another thing we do here on the show is kind of
Drink beers,
yes,
apparently.
Yes, we'll get into the beer discussion, the flame war that happened earlier this week. But another thing we do is talk about the week in sports. Obviously we've been talking about soccer right now. Big
I'm
week.
sure your fans are loving that.
They
love soccer.
You know what?
Soccer lovers everywhere.
We've got addition by subtraction because Dan Rubenstein is traveling and he's a one-trick pony. He does college football, and me, I watch everything.
It's funny because people liken the college football atmosphere to the soccer culture that exists everywhere else in the world.
I think that there's a definite comparisons. It's very
so Dan should naturally,
the tribalism of college football and soccer is very similar. But yeah, no, I'm everything. I'll watch football, other football. Baseball, hockey.
They're good sports.
But no, we've got. Do you watch anything besides soccer? Are you you're all soccer? Because it's your job.
No. I grew up in LA, so I'm a Lakers, Kings, Dodgers fan.
Okay, the Kings are doing well right now.
The Kings are doing well. Had a big win. Came back from 2 goals last night with 2 minutes left. So over our rivals.
Yeah,
San Jose Sharks. Yeah, so it was a big deal.
Are you watching any of the NBA finals? I'm up till 1 a.m. every night. I get hooked by the Western Conference stuff.
Once the Lakers went out, I kind of lost interest, to be honest. It was a bit of a train wreck this season. I had some high hopes with Dwight Howard and Steve Nash, and it just didn't work out. No.
Is Steve Nash in your phone?
He is on my phone. Yeah.
Are you soccer bros?
We're soccer bros. He has an ownership stake in the Vancouver Whitecaps.
Oh, that's right.
And I played in the Chinatown Showdown. With him and his thing. Yeah. So we've become friends, and he's a nice guy, and he knows the game. So it's fun to talk to him.
He does. It's pretty cool.
He's really down to earth. So all the good praise that comes his way, he definitely deserves it.
What else has been going on in the sporting world? We got
you tell me.
This is all a front. I don't know anything.
That's why you have the computer in front of you.
The U.S. men's national team roster for the coming World Cup qualifiers is out. Any thoughts on that?
Well, obviously, Landon Donovan is the biggest omission.
Yeah.
I would say. He took his brief personal hiatus, and now he's suffering the repercussions of that decision. He, for most people, he left the team high and dry during World Cup qualifying. And a lot of people take that personally.
Yeah.
He's been arguably the best player the U.S. has ever produced, and for him just to take some time to do whatever he's got to do to go find himself in Cambodia, I don't think you need to go to Cambodia to find yourself, if you know what I'm talking about. So he obviously needed that time. He's been, in fairness to him, he's been playing straight for 5 or 6 years. Every time he had time off with Major League Soccer, he would go over and play in the Premier League with Everton, or he did that spell at Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
So for 4 or 5 years, he never had any time off. So he needed it. Maybe he could have handled it a little bit different. Maybe he played it exactly right. But now Jurgen Klinsmann, the manager of the U.S. men's national team, has decided to punish him in some regard. Even though all of us are kind of like, all right, he's back, he's playing well, he's committed, he's focused. Just put him in the team and let's just get on with it already, you know. And we have a lot of games this summer. There's a game against Germany for our 100-year centennial, the anniversary of U.S. soccer forming, June 2nd in D.C., and then they play Belgium. And then we have a couple World Cup qualifiers, and then we have the Gold Cup. So it's a busy time for U.S. soccer, and I hope that he can play a role in it at some point. But he's not going to be in those World Cup qualifiers, so it's going to be interesting to see.
Dagger. We got Jamaica playing in Seattle, I think, and something else.
You're as good a journalist as I am. It's awesome.
I have a short view of things. I'm like, is it happening in the next 3 days? Then I don't need to know about it because I don't.
Fair enough.
I'll use this opportunity to tease what's coming up. He was here in studio, Landon Donovan was, and to the point of I asked him how long it had been since his longest break since like playing soccer full time, going pro, and he's like, since he was 15 years old, he's never had a break away from soccer longer than like 5 weeks.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And
I think that's hard for people to.
And he's 31 years old now. That's like 16 years of like working without any kind of.
I think part of the problem though is that people think playing soccer, and it's a dream job. So why would you ever get tired or burned out about it?
You're running all the time.
Yeah, you're running. Well, not only the physical side, but just being under the microscope of having to perform at this high level, day in and day out, and holding yourself. You have expectations that you feel from the outside, but you also have your own personal expectations of what you're capable of. And he got to a point where he had to carry his team on his shoulders every game if they were going to win, and that wears you down. You can see it with other great players in other sports.
Yeah. Did you ever go through that?
There was a time, I'll be honest, after the World Cup in 2006, people had talked about there being like a letdown because now you've reached the highest high. You've played at the top level. And then to go back to whatever the situation was, even if you were playing in the Premier League, for me it was Major League Soccer, just wasn't going to have the same feel that where you just came from. And I remember coming back, Kansas City had a game against D.C., and I was awful, like 4 days later. I thought, oh, man, I'm going to be a champ. I just played the World Cup, blah, blah, blah. I had an own goal and something else. And it wasn't like an own goal where I miskicked it, but it just went off of me, and it was like the worst start ever, and we lost 3-2 at home. And, there's like people are like, well, he's a World Cup player now, so he needs to be doing X, Y, and Z. So, yeah, I mean, that does wear you down. And I think throughout my career, it's really easy to kind of ascend to the top, to gain all the stuff. You're trying to catch other people. But when you get to the top and you have to maintain it, that's so much harder. And so that I could see why that could wear Landon down.
That's why I try to mail it in at least twice a week.
Keep expectations low. Yeah. Understood.
So that people are like, when I actually do something really well, they're like, wow, this is great. Not just like, oh, yeah, something else from Matt.
That's good. You're a good role model for the kids.
Oh, am I ever, as I drink a beer. All right. Don't drink, kids, unless it's like 5 p.m. somewhere. And you're 21, of course.
Of course.
The lawyers will be like, hey, Matt, they're always hitting me up for, please don't encourage illegal behavior, sign this waiver, don't break this.
Yeah, I didn't sign my waiver when I came in.
Yeah, we'll get you...
feeling a little uncomfortable right now.
We'll get you the...
as I drink my Newcastle.
The e-sign thing. Oh, yeah.
Newcastle, by the way, everybody, is playing this weekend against Arsenal. And if they can do the business and beat Arsenal in the Premier League, Arsenal will not qualify for the Champions League. And that would make me pretty happy because I know a lot of Arsenal fans.
You're a Newcastle guy?
I am a Newcastle fan. I like them since I was about 13 or 14. It was hard to see games back when I was a kid. And
is it worth drinking the lousy beer?
No comment.
I want to talk about
What do you mean lousy?
I want to talk about the hot internet flap right now is over a Slate article. This is what Slate does. They just like go around poking people on the internet like right in the ribs. Hey, how does that feel? Do you like that? This is how we feel. It's the right thing to do. And it's called Against Hoppy Beer. And the title doesn't really match up with the. This is such a long article.
Well, you sent me the link. You're like, hey, we're going to talk about this today. Mm-hmm. It's about 20,000 words or something. I got about 300 in, and I'm like, the hell with this article.
It's going to be published in print next week, I think, and it'll be 400 pages long. But yeah, it just starts out annoying. As a beer writer is the lead. It's just like, okay, I got you.
You know, it's a woman that wrote it.
No, of course.
Does that change your perspective on?
No. I'm not. I'm
not saying you're sexist. I'm not throwing that out there, stirring the pot.
I am a feminist, sir.
Sweet.
But I do find
that explains the hairy armpits. Can we say that? Is that terrible? That's probably bad.
Maybe
I'm gonna
it
get in
is,
trouble.
but I laughed, so it's fine.
Okay.
But basically, it's she's trying to convert people who drink Bud Light to craft beer, and she just people don't like hops. It's basically a very, very long-winded article about, hey,
what's that movie about wine drinkers?
Oh, with Paul Giamatti.
Yeah.
Will, you got us in the control room?
Who can help us out with that?
1 sec.
All right.
Well, whatever that is, it's just
we are not drinking Merlot.
Yeah, it's a snobbery thing.
Yeah. And I try to be against like snobbery in all forms. Like there's barbecue snobs, there's whiskey snobs, there's beer snobs. Sideways.
Thank you.
Thanks, Will. Gosh.
Dynamite drop in, buddy.
Yeah. I couldn't have possibly done that on my internet-connected computer. I'm busy talking. But yeah, and just snobbery in general, just in general, is just not the way to live your life. Like if that's what makes you feel better is looking down on lesser products.
But everybody needs a purpose in life. And for her, it's writing this article about how she's a more knowledgeable beer drinker than everybody else.
Let's what's your take on it? You're obviously drinking Newcastle, which I personally don't love. I used to like.
My take is that if somebody's going to get me a beer, I will drink it, and I will not complain whether it's too hoppy or not dark enough or too light or whatever. Thanks for the Newcastle. I really enjoy this.
My oft-repeated mantra about beer is that my favorite beer is cold and free.
Okay.
And like I really will drink anything. I
cold and free. I just got that.
Yeah.
Now that's
how I
sink
like
in.
my women.
I think there's a lot of them here in New York. Will, so you keep that up, pal.
Will's busy hooking up with girls on rooftops and getting smeared with tar and whatnot.
I think we've already talked about that on Halfy Hour once. So we can
I wasn't here for that one, though.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to bring it up.
That's about it.
Just going to bring it up every week. Hey, everybody, Will makes bad decisions in life.
Thank you.
You're at the right age to do so, sir.
So I saw that you guys, SB Nation, responded.
We did. There was a round table where people, we've got some beer. They try to be open-minded and a pro-craft beer, but there was some people flaunting their knowledge of I like this beer and this particular beer, and but for the most part, I think that the point that was tried to make by most people is that like, hey, there's a lot of beer to enjoy. That you don't need to draw lines in the sand. Mm-hmm. Like, let's just all drink beer and enjoy it.
Isn't the point of drinking beer to all kind of get into this one zone where you're not too drunk, but you're feeling pretty good about life?
Basically.
Does it really matter?
Yeah.
What helped you get there?
This is my lunch today, by the way. Like, there's half a sandwich in every beer, calorie-wise.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't drink enough to know, but I know Natural Light.
Natural Light
probably isn't as, high end or as good.
Yeah, no, I mean,
enough Natural Light will end up getting you to the same spot.
As my college years can confirm, yes, it will. You have to again, like every beer serves its purpose. Like some beer is super cheap and really crappy, and it's for people who are 21 years of age and in college and are playing 4 hours of beer pong, mm-hmm. and they're drinking for volume and for cost. Like they've only got so many dollars.
I haven't lost that. I still eat top ramen and.
No way.
No, just kidding.
No, you don't.
I moved up to Hot Pockets.
That's also a lie. You and your entire family are all in fantastic shape. There's a lot of spinach and kale eaten in that family.
That's true. I have a vegetarian wife and daughters. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm not vegetarian.
Are you allowed to keep meat in the fridge?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so they work around it.
They work around it.
What about dinners? Is that how many vegetarian meals do you eat per week?
Probably 4.
Probably 4. Wow.
Yeah, you get used to it.
That's why you look way better than I do.
I moisturize as well. I don't know. That's coming through on this camera.
Did I see something on Twitter where you said you manscaped for the first time this week?
I did.
Really?
Yeah, it's freeing.
How'd it go?
I feel, well, it's a little awkward to
Yeah.
put the razor to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm glad I did. I feel
Yeah.
like I got my act together. I feel like I'm like a real man. But even though that doesn't seem like, I just feel like I'm taking care of myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Like a little sleeker, a little more beach ready.
Yeah.
I got you.
I don't know. I don't even know what to say to that. I'm even going to defend myself.
I got you off guard with that.
It caught me a little bit off guard.
It's okay. We can talk about these things. It's important that people understand that it's okay.
I didn't go full bore. I mean, I still, it's just a little trimming the hedges a little bit.
Yeah, you're still, of course. You need a little bit. You don't want to look like a baby seal,
No. Or a chia pet.
Yeah, exactly. Right. The chia pet fur.
Yeah.
Especially because they have green hair. That would be weird.
It's just weird in general.
Let me ask you this: we have a weekly segment where we just kind of talk about the favorite things that we ate, we saw, we experienced this week.
Okay.
What's the best thing you ate all week?
The best thing I ate was eggplant parmesan sandwich.
Really?
Yeah, actually, some of the vegetarian habits still seep into my lunchtime when I'm not around my family. And it was with you. We went to lunch.
That's right.
A little Italian joint I've never been to. Great vibe. The funny part is I didn't end up telling you is that I didn't know it was cash only.
Oh.
So I walked up to the front. The guy's like, yeah. So I had to go run down to the ATM and make it seem like you thought I was still in line and then run back, get some cash. Anyway.
I was wondering what was taking you so long.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even know what the best thing I ate all week was. We had some good homemade meals in my home this week. We have a lot of salad. Of salad, and we're trying to eat leaner, more chicken, more fish. Mm-hmm. Trying to keep the old cholesterol down.
Yeah.
I'm old. When did that happen?
Yeah. I think if you just exercise and drink water, you'd be fine.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I do exercise. I drink enough water, but it's bad genes. Like dad and grandfather gave me great head of hair. Not so much with the heart and the cholesterol level.
It.
So I'm gonna have a heart attack, but sometime in my 50s probably is what we're looking at.
Cool.
So
I think you brace for it.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'll be past the whole thing where I'm on air, because it would suck to have the heart attack on air. People would gif that of me having a heart attack on air.
Would be Think of the views though.
That would be.
It'd do so well.
Look at him look, you can see him, the pain radiating out from his arm as he begs for medical assistance.
I'd watch that.
Yeah,
that'd be a good gif.
I'll tell you what. Best thing I listened to this week was probably the National's new album. The big thing that people were talking about on the internets was Daft Punk and National both.
Of course,
new
Daft
album
Punk.
stream.
Yeah,
pick up any of those? Or you just
I hit stream some of the Daft Punk stuff just to get a little taste of what they're dabbling into in the '70s vibe.
Yeah, it's
which I'm into. Yeah, I mean it's
a chill vibe.
I think with that kind of, I don't want to say high end art, but you have to give it another spin.
Yeah,
you can't just quit on it the first time.
Yeah.
So
I'm in the same boat with that.
Yeah, and that goes with a lot of albums out there, but I think they're one of those groups that you have to let it really seep in and listen to it 2 or 3 times.
I agree. It's not always just going to be badass dance jams every single time.
Yeah,
and it's not fair to expect that of them.
Well, it is, because they're capable of it.
Yeah.
But I can understand them trying to get into a different genre. I mean,
yeah,
it's just
not
what
girl
they're
talk.
About.
They're artists.
Yeah, I am a believer though.
You're a believer? What?
I'm just kidding.
Okay,
Jesus.
I
just want to throw that out there.
Don't scare me like that. I've got a bad heart.
So something I listened to, I kind of keep going back to Phoenix's new album.
Oh, yeah. I haven't listened to that yet.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Again, really maybe like French music.
Yeah, there's just not as much. Again, there's nothing as jump out catchy as like Listomania and 1901 from their previous album, but there's some good tracks there that I'm into. And I actually I saw Sofia Coppola at an event with this art farm up in Upper East. That was there. She was there with her daughter. I was there with my daughter. So that was pretty cool for me.
So you guys are bros now too?
Well, yeah, we fist bumped.
Brofia Coppola?
Yeah. That's my name. That's my one name drop of the day, Sofia Coppola.
Not bad. That's a pretty good one.
That's a pretty good one.
The biggest name I can drop right now is Jimmy Conrad.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I will say you mentioned the Phoenix album doesn't have a song that really sticks out, and that's kind of my one complaint about the Nationals' new album, where it just sounds like one very long 55-minute song of like, you know, kind of slightly somber, like self-introspective music, and there's not that Mr. November or song that really like comes out and hits you.
Right.
So that would be my one quibble with it, but it's nice to work to.
Yeah, and I should actually add that the link to the Phoenix and Sofia Coppola is that the lead singer Thomas Mars is married to Sophia Coppola.
Oh,
yeah, just in case anybody didn't know.
I actually didn't pick up on that.
So that was just kind of random. It'd be like, I saw Sofia Coppola, but like, now you know. Yeah, the lead singer of Phoenix, his wife is Sofia Coppola.
All right, that's a good segue.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. Like, when I was listening, I was like, I don't know if I filled that gap. So.
Just like, wow, Conrad showed up and just like name dropped out of nowhere. What's your best celebrity sighting in New York?
I saw Antonio Banderas coming out of a real estate company.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw Kevin Bacon walking his dog one day.
That's a good one.
But then there's 6 degrees of him everywhere. So,
yeah, exactly.
I kind of rolled right into that bad
For
joke.
me, Steve Buscemi lives in my neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
And I've seen him several times, like, you know, kind of on the same avenue. And the last time that I saw him, we were crossing opposite directions. And I tried to make eye contact, and I smiled at him because I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Steve Buscemi!" It's like I see this guy every Sunday, and like I was actually like taken aback when he didn't acknowledge me, and I was like, "Come on! Oh, he doesn't. He does not know who I am.
Yeah.
He does not realize that I'm watching him every week."
So did he stare right through you?
No, just like didn't really make eye contact with me, and I was like, I barely stopped myself from waving and saying, "Hey." How's it going, Steve? Because
you might as well.
Yeah, that's kind of like out of bounds, you know. So can't really just.
Can you just give him a fist bump? Say, "Nice work, bro." I don't say
maybe.
bro very often, so it's kind of weird coming out of my mouth. But
Boardwalk Empire also has filmed my neighborhood. I will say that Michael Pitt, no longer on the show, petted my dog late at night. It was like 1 a.m. He was smoking a cigarette outside his trailer, and
so that's what you call petting your dog?
Yeah, in public late at night.
Your neighborhood sounds awesome.
Yeah, I don't think Michael Pitt swings that way, or at least not with me. Not with
however you want to
strangers.
define it, man. It's fine.
We're talking about TV. What you watch anything good this week?
Scandal.
You're a Scandal guy. I've heard that this is what I need to see. That's like everybody's like, candy of choice right now.
Right. It's my wife brought me in, and I'm in. I mean, it's a good show, and they do a really good job of keeping it going. It kind of has, I don't want to compare it to 24, but there is like those big twists that you know are going to come. Whereas 24 lost its way, jumped the shark.
Yeah.
You know, I just
coming
couldn't,
back, by the way.
I know, crazy. couldn't maintain that momentum. But Scandal continues to find a way to make it happen. And it's only 2 seasons in. It just finished last night for season 2. So we'll see what they can do for season 3.
I haven't,
because it's got to peter out at some point.
Is this the one with the president and has an affair?
Yeah, he's had an affair.
That's all.
Multiple
all that I know.
affairs.
All right.
Yeah. So it's the bad guy from Ghost, the movie Ghost. He's the president.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he does a really good job in the role. I mean, all the acting's superb.
That's great.
Yeah.
I feel like we should probably acknowledge while we're talking about political figures, Rob Ford. You hear the Toronto mayor?
Oh, he's smoking crack.
Smoking crack.
Good for him.
Explains a lot of his actions over the last couple of years.
He seems like an interesting person. Have you been to Toronto?
I have not.
Okay, not to say that they're all smoking crack over there, but it has like an eccentric pocket to it. It has a good feel to it. I like it. I like the bohemian vibe that it has. And so he is an interesting choice that he's the mayor. So
it's kind of like he's a conservative guy, right? So it's kind of like
which is funny to think.
Because, well, I mean, we've got Rudy Giuliani was like took New York and cleaned it up when it's 8 million super liberal people. And sure, Republican. Yeah, you probably need to be running this place.
That's true.
One thing about Rudy Giuliani did not do crack while in office. So
Marion Barry did, though, in D.C.
Yes, our nation's capital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a black mark.
Yeah, so I was thinking about this, like, your rules for a politician. Like, you're in a position of power. There is a lot you can do to abuse that, and people will be like, yeah, it's totally cool. But I feel like crack is a little bit too far. Like
it's a bit far.
Like, go ahead. I feel like snorting coke is fine. Like you're entitled. Like that's the wealthy person.
How about showing your junk on Twitter to potential females?
Man, at least like, yeah, no, that's not the way to go. Especially if you're married.
Or if your last name's Wiener.
Manscaped
Yeah.
anytime recently. So you'd probably be good, Jimmy.
I would be good.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't take photos.
You want to see?
Pay your escorts in cash. Don't write a check, Jerry Springer.
For when you're running, I feel like you're so busy. I feel like I'm busy in what I do, and what I do doesn't really have any weight whatsoever.
Yeah.
But if you're running an office, you're making decisions that are going to affect people's lives, either positively or negatively.
Yeah.
Where do you have time to smoke crack and get escorts and do
not.
blow and send pictures of your junk to females? I don't understand.
I suppose that I maybe have time for that, but like it just doesn't occur to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, if I go out tonight, like I am gonna be ruined tomorrow. Like I'm just not gonna be useless at work. I can't be up late doing drugs.
Right.
I mean, like whiskey before bed, absolutely, but nothing that's gonna like ruin me. I gotta be on camera. I gotta take care of this there.
So I have a hypothetical about this. If the mayor of wherever you're living was open about a meth addiction, but he was much more efficient about everything, like he was getting much more shit done because of him always doing meth, are you cool with that?
I think that I appreciate the hypothetical, Will, but I have yet to see an example of someone on meth being super efficient for a long period of time.
Well, it could happen.
It could happen. I will say this. Results speak for themselves. So if someone happens to do a wonderful job in office, unites the two parties, gets shit done, as you say, and he's on meth, I suppose I could look past that. I don't think it's very likely.
Is he recovering meth addict, or is he still doing meth and he's just doing a kick-ass job?
I think he's on meth and he's doing a kick-ass job.
What's the parameters here, Will?
Yeah, he's still doing a lot of meth.
I think the problem is it's not like there are functioning alcoholics. Cheers. There aren't many functioning like high functioning meth users.
I think you just don't hear the good stories. They're probably out there, but Slate is covering bullshit about hoppy beers, and they're not giving the meth addicts the love.
All right. Well, hey, Slate.com, please look into these successful meth addicts that.
Yeah, we want a pretentious meth addict to write an article about how great meth is.
That would be
a pretentious meth. That should be a role somewhere.
As a meth author,
I live in Tennessee with my husband, and I'm a fantastic meth addict.
I'm looking for the best craft meth. Some people are putting too much chlorine into their meth.
I use a Bunsen burner to do my meth.
The refined bath salts that I'm on have turned me into a cannibal, but I'm super efficient.
So when do we take callers on this show?
No callers. In fact, we've only got a couple minutes left.
Damn.
I'm sorry to say.
I was hoping for some random caller.
Yeah, no,
you guys need to pick it up.
Yeah.
we did have a commenter say that Jimmy, you smell fantastic.
Whoa.
Let me pull up the name.
Is this Smell-O-Vision?
Michael Milberger said, Jimmy, you smell fantastic.
That's nice.
Doesn't he work for KICKTV?
He may or may not be a fellow employee, so he knows firsthand.
He's cooking.
That's because I left my deodorant on my desk, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do you use?
What do I use? I don't know.
This is what people love, by the way. What deodorant do you use?
It's a green case. I can't even think of it right now.
Really? I feel like green case is.
It's not Pert Plus.
Speed Stick.
Speed Stick. Yeah, I think it's Speed Stick.
I'm an Old Space guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not Old Spice, Old Space. It's.
I wasn't gonna call you out, but you called yourself out.
Yeah, no.
So.
Old Space is a great product. You really don't. It's not something that matters, Jimmy. Let it go. You gotta let them go.
Degree's green.
Degree. That's it. Degree.
Wow.
Thanks, Will.
Will saving the show.
Yeah. Degree.
Anything else? Let's see. Have you watched any movies recently? I haven't not been to a movie theater in like 8 months.
No, I haven't seen any movies recently.
I am forcing my wife to come see Iron Man 3 this weekend because I want to see that while it's in theaters still. It's supposed to be amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I like Robert Downey Jr.
Junie?
Robert Downey Jr. in that role.
You have had half a beer.
Junie. That's it. That's all it takes when you don't drink much. Half a bad Newcastle beer. I mean, great Newcastle beer. Because they're going to beat Arsenal this week.
I think we've done a good job of bringing it full circle now.
We have.
Hey, folks. Soccer's a sport too.
Care for it. Love it. Cherish it.
Pete Prisco of CBS. Are you aware of who this person is? He's
an
NFL writer. Had this whole thing of he actually was upset about the date because David Beckham retired this week.
Yeah.
And he's like, hearing a lot of people saying that David Beckham's retiring from football. Oh, it's soccer, people. It's like, really?
I think we're past that argument.
Sick burn, said 1996.
Yeah, it's just... we're all talking about the same game. Let's just move past that.
Yeah. I agree. Prisco. All right, I think that's going to take us to
let's kill this thing.
It was pretty amazing.
It was pretty amazing. You're right. I'm a really good guest. It's the hair that sets it apart.
The hot takes. It was a good hair show.
It was.
If people just put this on mute and watched it for half an hour, they got a good product.
That's how I watch NBA games.
Yeah, it's pretty. Although there's usually pretty good commentation. Jesus H.
Yeah.
This show is.
What's the H stand for? Christo.
Hubert. Yeah.
I never knew that.
All right, folks, thanks for watching. This is Jimmy Conrad. You can follow him at Jimmy Conrad. Watch KICKTV on YouTube. Subscribe, as he will tell you to do in every single video.
It's part of my daily vernacular now.
I'm Matt Ufford. Next week, Dan Rubenstein will be back on the show. And we'll see you then. You're just leaving.
Yeah. Woo!
See you next week.